Looking for trusted legal guidance on the Mississippi Gulf Coast? Joseph Kelly, attorney at law, has been serving the coast since 1993, helping families protect what matters most. From estate planning to securing your legacy, Joseph Kelly provides experienced, personalized legal services designed around your unique needs.
Welcome to the Mudcat Report. Community news, politics, and culture with a local twist. Here's your host, owner and publisher of the Gazebo Gazette, Hunter Dawkins.
Good afternoon. My name is Hunter Dawkins, and I'm the host of the Mudcat Report. This is the 31st episode, and it's a Mississippi Gulf Coast community news podcast. Our theme for the day is food writing. Yes, absolutely. I'm here with my wonderful producer of the show, Jeff Clark. Jeff is a well-accomplished, award-winning journalist and the director of the Harrison County Senior Services. Jeff, how are you, my friend?
I'm well, Hunter. I got to see you at a board meeting today, so that was nice. So a good, nice treat. But I'm well, man. So tell me about this topic about food writing.
We have a wonderful show today, Jeff, where we will discuss not only the writing about food, but just food in general from a few individuals that only write for the paper, but they all not only do they write for the paper, but they also have daily experiences with food. Of course, as every human being has daily experiences with food, because I know you definitely remind me of that. But just to let you know, Jeff, and it's quite obvious, I love food too as well.
I used to. So, hey, man, I feel like we're kind of entering a golden age for food on the Gulf Coast. I haven't been to the downtowner. I've been thinking about taking Charlie for breakfast, but I mean, I hear it's banging. That's the downtowner, Robert St. John's restaurant in Gulfport. You know, just here in the past, we've got St. James Cheese Company, Phil's Italian. There's so many new places. One of our sponsors, the ice cream, Pass Ice Cream. We have so many food options on the Gulf Coast right now. What a great time. What a great time to be a food writer.
And, of course, like you said, Jeff, the golden age, there's more restaurants down here in Pass Christian than there ever was when I was growing up. I know it's taken a while after the storm with development and economic, push through this, that, and the other. But nowadays, there's more Pass Christian restaurants than I think there were really from Bay St. Louis to Long Beach when I was growing up.
What are some of your favorite places to eat? Where do you like to go?
You know, that's that list is very long because I'm a very local community food person. I'll go just anywhere to Bacchus for dinner, to Fields for brunch, to Daddy's one day, just for a nice, especially during Lent season. I love the seafood platter at Daddy's. Or, I might want to go up to Pirates Cove just for a roast beef po' boy. That's just around Pass Christian. I mean, when you get into Long Beach, close to my house, I'm looking thinking going to the Long Beach Market and Deli. I'm even thinking about going up to Orange Grove, up to Rebel Dip, one of those old school places. There's a bunch of new places that have opened up in that area down there, back where old Catfish Charlie's used to be. I can't remember, but they just opened up another place. Or my good friend who recently sold his place in downtown Gulfport, the bistro, to the Neighbors and Tables. I've heard that's a really good place also. Downtowner, I've known Robert St. John for quite a while. I'm definitely encouraged to go there. Only problem is every time I plan on going, it's super
It's
packed.
packed. Tobby's. We haven't mentioned Tobby's. Tobby's Octavio's sandwich shop in Pass Christian. Tobby and Shannon own Pop Brothers. Lovely people.
Shannon's one of my really great friends.
Yeah, they're lovely. They're awesome. That place is doing great, getting great reviews. You know, like I even liked when, I had some health challenges, so I don't eat out as much as I used to, but I used to love to take Charlie to the Bodega over in
Yeah,
Bay St. Louis. That was like one of
yeah.
our favorite spots to go. Um,
Barracuda over there in Bay St. Louis, what used to be the old Buttercup, now
sure.
Barracuda, the Mexican place.
The
I
taco
know the
stand, right.
I know the owner over there that's actually a New Orleans resident, and hopefully, knock on wood, they'll be talking to us about doing some ads. But I know that guy very, very well, and it's it's one of the best Mexican places
And I
downtown.
love the Buttercup. I love the Mockingbird. Allison does
Yeah,
a great job with that. My friend Kelsey Moran, she has the Ugly Pirate. They do pizza. It's literally a golden age for food, man.
that's
So,
right.
before we get into our commercial break, why don't we take a time for you to tell us who our sponsors are?
Absolutely. The episode is sponsored by the Gazebo Gazette, Harrison County's independent newspaper, or the Beau Rivage and Resort Casino in Biloxi, Nine Toes Brewing Company in Pass Christian, O'Dwyer Realty Agent Stephanie Mankiewicz, Joseph Kelly's attorney at law, the Coast Casual in Pass Christian, the Insurance Barn in Gulfport, Hook 'em for Heroes block party on Saturday, September the 12th, right here in Nine Toes Brewing Company in Pass Christian. The Pass Ice Cream Palace, as Jeff had mentioned, and we're always in the U.S. Marine Studio. We'll see you at the break.
Looking for effortless style on the coast? Discover Coast Casual in the Pass, your locally owned men's and boys' boutique. Coast Casual offers a mix of coastal and southern-inspired clothing, accessories, and gifts. Treat yourself to something sweet at Pass Ice Cream Palace in beautiful downtown Pass Christian. Pass Ice Cream is serving up more than 65 flavors of premium Hershey's ice cream, along with refreshing boba tea, creamy milkshakes, dirty sodas, brownies, cookie sundaes, and delicious desserts the whole family will love.
The Gazebo Gazette is Harrison County's only independent newspaper, publishing news from Gulfport to Bay St. Louis every Friday. Hi, this is Hunter Dawkins, owner of the Gazebo Gazette. If you're looking for local news without the hassle of sorting through story after digital story, log on to thegazebogazette.com. Our first guest is someone that I've been friends with for over a decade, is very well traveled, and has an interest in many different cuisines. Brian Lamar. Brian is the NCBC, I'll let him explain that to you, Naval Public Affairs Officer who just returned from a lengthy hiatus in Europe and Asia, doing his work overseas instead of in the States. Additionally, Brian writes a well-known, award-winning column for the newspaper, the Gazebo Gazette, titled The Foodini. Brian, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing good, Hunter. Thanks for having me on the air.
Absolutely, absolutely. Since you have had different cuisines from all across the world, what was the strength of the Mississippi Gulf Coast and something that you remembered overall in your travel?
Yeah, so I've been asked this quite a bit since I've been back. One thing that no place else can do the same is crawfish. So a crawfish boil just does not equate the same way around the world. Now there are other places that do crawfish in Asia, but they don't do it like us. They just you know they just don't do it like us. It doesn't taste right. It's lacking the soul, I think, of Mississippi.
It's the Tony C's, a little bit of that with Louisiana love. There you go. Talk to me about the different styles of fish dishes in Europe and Asia versus America.
Yeah. So in Japan, I mean, they're known for their seafood. I mean, they're an island nation. And I was on Okinawa, a small island that's part of Japan, and they love when they're not eating pork products, they're eating fish. So sushi and sashimi, that I mean, it's all over. But they do it right in a lot of ways with fish. they're really known for like a salt grilled fish that's like a delicacy all over the place. But they also got some really cool stuff that you normally wouldn't go to, like so, or you normally wouldn't see in the States, like unagi, the freshwater eel. They barbecue unagi, and they have like these fast food restaurants like the States, like a McDonald's or whatever, but they serve unagi, this eel, and in Japan, the way that they handle food and stuff like that. It's more uh, of a like a whole food kind of fresher kind of situation. With I said they do unagi with fast food, but seems like if you went to a fast food restaurant in the States, you wouldn't want to get an eel, right? Like even if they served it, because it wouldn't be fresh. It would be kind of processed, but they did all that fresh there, and it was delicious.
On a side note, with eel, isn't that a little bit oily? Doesn't it taste kind of a little bit, or do they drain it out? I mean, just how do they
Yeah,
prepare
I mean it looks slimy when you see them in the water. When you see them in the ocean, they look kind of slimy and they look gross. But let me tell you what, it's probably my favorite dish that I had in Japan consistently. It's they'll barbecue it, and they'll put like a teriyaki glaze on it, and it's so good.
it?
Chef's
Like
kiss.
similar to calamari?
Not chewy like a calamari is. It's more oh, I'm blanking on how to explain the texture of the meat, but it's just it's good. I don't know. I'm a loss for words of trying to compare it to something in Mississippi that Mississippians would understand right away. It's something unique, and the flavor is so good.
Describe the home cooked meals in Europe and Asia versus the American South.
Yeah, so in Asia, if you go to any like little Okinawan grandma's house, which I did a couple of times, you're likely to get some dishes that you normally wouldn't see in Mississippi. One that, and I'm not a picky eater at all, I mean, and it shows. But the little Okinawan grandmas loved this like egg custard dish, and they ate it all the time. I never really cared as much for that one, uh, because it tasted very plain and bland. But I think that's what they were going for, because they got so many flavors in their food. But yeah, you go in there to some little Okinawan grandma's house, you're likely to get this stuff called bitter melon, and it's an actual melon that they grow in Okinawa, and it's been proven to show that it stabilizes blood sugar, and it helps naturally lower people's blood sugar, and they eat it all the time. Okinawa is a blue zone. It's like one of the 4 or 5 blue zones in the U on the Earth, and that means that a certain amount of their population live to a certain age, and they live long lives, and they attribute that bitter melon that they sometimes they'll ferment it, sometimes they'll pickle it, sometimes they'll just eat it raw, but they attribute that bitter melon to the long lives that they live. In Europe, uh, if you go into somebody's home and eat, it's gonna be heavy food. It's heavy. It's hearty and it's heavy, and a lot of it. And I'm not trying to be funny about it, but a lot of it is very potato based. So sometimes some of the other Europeans make fun of the Germans, call them potato eaters, but they have so many like unique and fancy ways that they use potatoes in a lot of their cooking. But yeah, but schnitzel and bratwurst and stuff like that, that's all stuff you'd find in a European home.
I remember you telling me a lot in Germany about bread and how they're a big time bread group, like bakery style stuff.
Yeah, you can even go to like your like grocery store, and they have bread cabinets, like self-serve bread cabinets, and they even have little machines that'll slice the loaves of bread for you and stuff. And I don't think you could get away with that in America. Somebody cut their fingers off, there'd be a lawsuit, but anyways, yeah, their bread, they thrive, and they brag. And it's a cultural thing for Germans to have this very pure, fresh bread. And it's funny because I'm not going to name the name, but there's a certain sandwich franchise in America. Some would consider it fast food. That in many European countries, their laws are to the way that, and this is getting to a bigger point of how European food laws protect the consumer a lot more than in America. There's a lot of consumer laws to protect the consumer, but in this particular sandwich shop, they can't call it bread. They have to, because of the sugar content so high of this American-based franchise, that they call it cake. And they consider it a dessert shop, even though they're putting tomatoes and cucumbers and lettuce on their sandwiches. It's legally considered cake there because there's so much sugar in it.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Give me your steps when writing a food column, and what are the details that you're looking for?
Well, first, I usually pick a food column or pick a place to write a food column based off of recommendations. If somebody tells me, hey, you got to try this place, or this is worth the drive, or, it's worth going out of your way, it's worth spending your hard-earned money on a Friday night to take your family out or on a date night or whatever, then I pursue it. I usually reach out to the restaurant to make sure that they're okay with me coming in. I have a rule when I'm writing. I only write positive reviews if I have a negative experience at a restaurant, and then I just don't write the review. My readers expect to be told good places to go. That's the service I provide to the readers with this column. I tell people where they can go get a good meal that's worth their time, effort, and money. And then if I tell them where not to go, then the readers still don't get that benefit of me telling them places that are worthwhile. When I go in to review a restaurant, the very first thing that I want to know when I walk in is, what is the staff greeting me like? Am I standing there for a while before anybody notices that I'm even there? What's the ambiance of the place? Is it super loud? And some places that's what you're going for. Is it quiet? Is it more serene? Does it look unpolished, or is it elegant? I look at all those things, and then I try to like figure out, does it fit with what the dining style is. Sometimes I want to go to a rowdy place. Sometimes I'm gonna call out the Shed, right? Sometimes you go in and you're like, wow, what is this? The first time you go, like, what is this place? Is it gonna fall down or whatever? But no, it's an amazing place to eat barbecue, and that's what you go for. You go for that rustic, that rough and rugged. So I look at all of that and I soak it in so I can write an honest review of what to expect when you get there. And then it's the food quality, right? I'm looking at the menu, like what's on the menu. Is there something for everybody, or is it just this one thing that they're good at? And I take that into account as well when I'm writing. And then I kind of pay attention to the prices a little bit. If they're charging a lot of prices, but they're using food distributor sauces and stuff, I'm like, is that worth it? If they're making their own sauces, if they're making their own in-house stuff, then I get really excited because, well, now you've got a unique signature flavor that whatever chef is in there has cultivated, and he's made it his own. It's not going to taste like every other restaurant that gets food distributor food. It's going to have like a very similar flavor. I mean, I know the word generic sounds bad. I don't mean it as bad as it sounds, but it kind of has that generic flavor. So I take that into account. And then, of course, the aroma, the texture, the taste, all that stuff I look at for the food dishes itself. And then just the creativity. Do they have like a unique spin on it? I just did a review on the Wicked Pig, and instead of just putting pickles on this certain sandwich he's got on the menu, or kimchi, he did a cucumber kimchi. So he combined the two, and it was delicious. It was the perfect addition to this dish. So I look at all those kinds of things. I'm just trying to find places where people would go and then go tell other people, hey, I went here and that was great. So that's the process.
Final question. Do you have any restrictions on restaurants?
I used to be a lot more restrictive. I wouldn't cover a like franchise place or like a corporate place. But I've lightened up on that because sometimes there are franchises or corporations that have restaurants that a family will open a restaurant in this area, and it might be a unique new offering, something new. Just example. I mean, I'm not going to write a review about it. It's out of this jurisdiction out of this area. But I was driving through Nashville the other day, and I saw that they have In-N-Out Burger, which is usually just a West Coast thing.
Yeah.
If we got an In-N-Out Burger here, even though it's a franchise corporation, I'd probably write a review about it because there's a lot of Mississippians that have never experienced In-N-Out Burger, which it's a pretty good place to go. It's very simplistic and it's really good. And so I would probably write that. And especially if I know that there's a family in the area that started a business like this, family owned businesses are what keep our small towns running. The local economy is what it thrives off of these people who say, I'm going to take a chance and hopefully my community supports me, but I'm going to put this great burger restaurant or this great ice cream place in, even though it is maybe a franchise.
Well, just on that end note, that you left it at that. Bucky's is always out there. It's not
I've
too far
already
from
had three brisket burritos from
you.
Bucky.
Nice, nice, nice. We look forward to talking to you again, my friend.
All right. Thank you, Hunter. Appreciate your time.
Nine Toes Brewing Company is a Gulf Coast destination for craft beer, great food, and interactive entertainment. Enjoy a rotating selection of small batch brews, a menu of comfort food favorites, and state-of-the-art golf simulators featuring world-famous courses.
Looking for insurance coverage you can count on? Call the Insurance Barn, a professional agency since 1959. The Insurance Barn writes all-in-one policies and offers coverage for homeowners, fire, flood, commercial property, auto, boats, motorcycles, plus wind and hail protection.
If you are thinking about selling on your own, maybe ask Steph. If you would like to talk to Stephanie to help determine your next steps, call today at 228 563 0471 or call her at the office and ask for Steph at 228 452 4242. My final guest, a reporter for the Gazebo Gazette newspaper and a Cat Island Coffeehouse Gulfport server, Emily Bowers. Emily is currently a student at South Alabama, but her experience in reporting and the food industry is worth discussing a few details with. How are you, Emily?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you very much for being on with us. What dishes does the Cat Island Coffee House excel at? And talk to me about the difference between Gulfport and Pascagoula locations.
Okay, for a fact, I can tell you that the Cat Island excels with their salads. Most of the time when people come in for lunch, they're getting a salad. If not, one of their amazing sandwiches. Between the Pastor Shan and Courthouse location, I know for a fact that Courthouse has flatbreads, little personal pizzas, lots of different options. Pre-made, we also have the Great Southern where you can build your own flatbread.
Wow. Flatbread on the side note, that sounds like it's pretty interesting. I mean, how many different varieties do y'all have?
We have, I'm gonna say about six.
Wow, that's more than interesting. I definitely need to start getting over there. Not only do I have to go there for Gulfport High School pretty soon, I need to start showing up there early. From your work, what dishes do customers flock to? Not just a salad or a flatbread, but what kind of dessert is available with you guys?
So we have a dessert case full of pastries. They vary from danishes to bagels to little mini bundt cakes, cinnamon rolls, and then some people get that. And then we also have with our salads, I know our cranberry pear is the fan favorite. as well as our booster club and sandwich. And then for our flatbreads, I would say a lot of people tend to get our garden, which is it has a lot of it has multiple vegetables on it. It doesn't have any chicken, but I wouldn't say it's vegetarian because it has cheese on it. So,
There you
but
go. In your work for the paper, what event have you covered that has a different style of food? What kind of cuisine was available during this time?
For my two biggest events that had food at them, the first one was the Juneteenth celebration. They did a brunch, which is mainly what they advertised when creating the event. They had chicken and waffles, like hash brown casserole, and fruits and pastries. And then for the GNBC praise rally, they did like simple foods like chicken salad, rotel, they had meatballs. I wouldn't say that anything was unique. It was kind of just like staples that everybody can enjoy.
Give me your thoughts about food in Pass Christian in Western Harrison County.
They're all amazing. They have been expanding day by day. There's a lot of new places that I have tried and that I've yet to try that are just popping up out of nowhere. Yeah.
You said about you had told me in the past about the difference amount of restaurants that there were here in Pass Christian versus when you grew up,
Yeah.
living in the past. Just talk to me about the different places, Fields, uh,
hmm
Daddy's, Amore, all the rest of those types.
That whole strip where Fields is held, that whole place is new. I know they have like Nine Toes across from it. They have a little ice creamery.
Yeah.
It's all new. As well as other places. For sure, that's been here to date has been Bacchus and Shaggy's, which
Nice.
are Pastor Shan restaurant staples. Both are amazing. And then these other businesses that are opening up, they have been good as well.
All right. Final question for you, Emily. Since you were going back to school in Mobile,
Mm-hmm.
talk to me about the different cuisines from here and on the coast.
Well, it's not much different. We're only an hour away, so there's a lot of the same things, but Mobile did introduce me to Cookout before Gulfport did. So I already knew what to get when I went to the new Cookout in Gulfport.
Right.
They have a lot more popular restaurants. Like I know they have a Cava, they have like Panera Bread. And then they also have a lot of Mobile places that I would say like they're Mexican. They have a Mexican spot every few corners. All of them are good. Um, they have a lot of stuff near the campus so that it's easily accessible to the students, and I'm grateful for that. But as far as the difference, there's not really one. I would just say if you want more variety in everyday foods, Mobile is the place to go.
Emily, it's always good to hear from you. We look forward to having you on soon.
Thank you.
Mark your calendars for Saturday, September 12th, and head to Nine Toes Brewing Company in Pass Christian for the Hook 'em for Heroes block party. It's a free event from 1 to 10 p.m. featuring live performances by JJ Gray and Mofro, Mark Broussard, Cedric Burnside, Honey Island Swamp Band, and more. Best of all, the event supports local veterans and first responders, so come enjoy great music while giving back to those who have served our communities.
United States Marine Inc. knows what it means to show up strong. Your grit and teamwork inspire us every day. At USMI, we cherish our family, and our family includes community and you. USMI builds the baddest boats with pride and coastal toughness.
Gratefully appreciate you listening to this podcast, and we thank you again, Jeff. We want to thank all of our sponsors, including the Beau Rivage Resort and Casino in Biloxi, Nine Toes Brewing Company in Pass Christian, O'Dwyer Realty Agent Stephanie Mankiewicz, Joseph Kelly, Attorney at Law, Coast Casual in Pass Christian, the Insurance Barn in Gulfport, Hook 'em for Heroes Block Party on Saturday, September the 12th, right here at Nine Toes Brewing Company, the Pass Christian Ice Cream Palace. And as we're always in the U.S. Marine Inc. studio, make sure you check us out on YouTube under the Gazebo Gazette Productions, or follow us on the award-winning website, thegazebogazette.com, where the podcast will be posted later sometime this week, as well as on facebook.com/The Real Gazebo Gazette, or on X as Gazebo Gazette as the handle. The Mudcat Report is available on all podcasts, as Jeff routinely says. It's available on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music under the Mudcat Report tag. Signing out, this is Hunter Dawkins, the host of the Mudcat Report, and now you know the rest of the local story. Good night.